The exciting request from Ronaldinho to Messi after the Argentine has said that he will retire from football. Messi has spoken, and what he has said has made the whole world tremble with the ball. Today, here, right now, I bring you a bomb that you were not expecting, because Leo Messi, the man who has won absolutely everything, the one who has made whole stadiums cry, the one who raised the World Cup in Qatar at 35 years old and made history again in the Copa America, has said the words that no football fan ever wanted to hear. Messi says to stop, that it's over, that his body asks for rest, that his mind has already fulfilled every dream he had, and that he feels, in the most profound, that the time has come to hang the boots. But wait, because what comes in this video is much bigger than the simple announcement, much bigger. I am going to tell you with each and every detail what exactly was what Ronaldinho, his idol, his older brother in football, the man who gave him his first hug with the Barca shirt, asked Messi when he found out about the news, a request that has moved millions of people all over the planet. And not only that, I am also going to reveal the statement made by David Beckham, the owner of the Inter of Miami, a man who has moved heaven and earth for Messi and who now says that he is going to do the impossible to convince him to keep playing. And there is a detail in that statement of Beckham that has not been told anywhere, and that he is going to leave you with your mouth open. 3 things I promise you in this video. First, the integral message of Ronaldinho, each word, each emotion, what he said and why he said it. Second, the play that Beckham is preparing between backboards so that Messi does not hang the boots. And third, and this is the one that has impacted me the most personally, the real reason, the one that Messi has not said in public, but that his closest environment has leaked, for which the Argentine feels that he can no longer. Stay until the end, because what awaits you is a roller coaster of emotions. And before continuing, I tell you, if you are one of those who have grown up watching Messi, if you have ever cried a goal of his, if you have ever fallen asleep at 3 in the morning watching an Inter Miami game, from Spain, from New York, from Los Angeles, from wherever, this video is going to touch your soul. Like now, because this deserves to be seen by everyone. Let's get to the point. Messi spoke a few hours ago. And when Messi speaks, you already know that the world stops. He is no longer a footballer. He is no longer a footballer. He is the man who has defined an entire era of sport. 8 Ballons d'Oro, a World Cup, 2 Copas America, for champions. More than 800 goals with the most educated feet that have stepped on a football field. And today, that man, with a serene voice and the eyes that revealed a decision already taken, has said that he feels that his body no longer responds as before, that his knees weigh him, that his ankles warn him every morning that the price of 20 years of elite is paid with pain, and that, above all, he has nothing to prove to anyone. And look at what I say, nothing to prove to anyone. That's what he said. Do you know what that means? Coming from an uncle who has competed against Cristiano Ronaldo for 15 years, who has endured brutal criticism for not winning a World Cup until he won it at the age of 35, who has changed continent, league, life, and he has continued to score goals as if he were a 20-year-old kid. It means that the fire has gone out. And when Messi's fire goes out, football loses something that it will never recover. Never. You hear me? Now, as a pure football fan, as an uncle who has seen this man do things that have no physical explanation, I tell you one thing, I refuse to accept it. I refuse. And I'm not the only one. Because when the news has started to run through the networks, through the changing rooms, through the offices, there has been a person who has picked up the phone before anyone, before the journalists, before the managers, before the teammates. And that person is Ronaldinho Gaucho. Ronaldinho, the man who introduced Messi to the world. Literally. Do you remember? Year 2005. Messi, a 17-year-old boy, thin, shy, with the face of not having broken a plate in his life. He scores his first goal with the first team. And what happens? Ronaldinho takes him in his arms. He gets on his horse in front of the whole Camp Nou. And he says to the world, remember this name. This kid is going to be the best in history. That was over 20 years ago. And Ronaldinho was right. He was completely right about the world. And it is that the relationship between Ronaldinho and Messi, it is not that of 2 teammates. It is that of an older brother who sees in the little one as something that even the little one does not understand yet. Ronaldinho was the absolute star of Barca. When Messi went up from the subsidiary, he was the best in the world, the ball of gold, the showman, the smile of football, and instead of feeling threatened by that Argentine kid, who was already pointing to phenomenon, do you know what he did? He protected him. He clothed him. He taught him to enjoy inside the field. He told him that football was joy, not suffering. He gave him the confidence that a 17-year-old kid, who had just left Rosario, he needed like the air. And now, 20 years later, when Messi says he's leaving, the first one to raise his hand, it's him, Ronaldinho, the eternal thanks to the friendship of Leo, the one who has never stopped being there, in the shade, applauding every title, every goal, every record. But wait, because I haven't told you yet. What exactly was what he said? That comes later, and I assure you that when you listen to it, you will understand why half the planet has been excited. What I can tell you, it's one thing. Ronaldinho has not asked him to keep playing. By obligation, he has not told him, you have to continue because you are the best. No, what he has told him, it is much deeper, much more personal. And it has to do with something that happened in this same World Cup of 2026, something that Ronaldinho saw with his own eyes. And that, according to him, it shows that Messi is not over yet. Not yet. Save that. Retain that idea, because there is the key to everything. Now, to understand the weight of what is happening, we have to talk about what Messi has done in recent months, because it is not that Messi withdraws dragging. It is not that he leaves with his head down. It is that the uncle just played a World Cup. The World Cup of 2026. In the United States. In Mexico. In Canada. And what he has done in there. It has been, once again, from another planet. Argentina came to this World Cup as a current champion, with the star of Qatar on his chest, with Messi as captain, and now, with 39 years old, knowing that it was probably his last big appointment with the national team. And look at what I tell you, probably, because he himself did not know if he was going to be able to physically endure a tournament of this caliber. The injuries had given him war throughout the season at the Inter of Miami, the ischiotibial, the left ankle, the muscle discomfort that, at that age, no longer goes with a massage and an ice bag. And yet, Messi went to the World Cup. It was because Argentina asked for it. It was because the fans asked for it. It was because deep down football asked for it. And what he did there was barbarism. Matches in which it seemed that the clock did not exist for him. Passes that broke entire lines of defense. Assists that left the strikers alone in front of the goalkeeper without anyone understanding how the ball had gotten there. And goals. Goals of those that only mark Messi. Of those that start with an impossible dribble, continue with a change of pace that displaces 3 rivals, and end with a shot to the long post that the goalkeeper does not even smell. For me, and I say it with my heart in my hand, what Messi did in this World Cup was the definitive proof that we are facing the best footballer that has ever existed. Neither Pelé, nor Maradona, nor Cruyff, nor Di Stefano. Messi. Because doing it at 39 with a body that already protests, with a pressure that would crush anyone, that is not done by a normal footballer. That is done by a chosen one. And now that chosen one says he is leaving. Do you understand the magnitude of what is happening? But do not be left alone with the surface. Because behind Messi's public statement there is a story that has not been told. There is a background that his closest environment, the people who live with him in Miami, the people who see him train every day, has begun to filter in the last hours. And that background has to do with what Messi really feels, not with what he says in front of the cameras. Messi has said in public that he has already won everything, and that he feels tired. That is true. But there is more. His intimate circle speaks of a Messi who has been reflecting on his legacy for months. A Messi who wonders if continuing one more year can stain what he has built. A Messi who has seen other greats retire late, too late, and end up being a shadow of what they were. And that terrifies him. Terrifies him more than any rival, more than any injury. The idea that people remember him crawling through a field instead of flying. And I understand it. I understand it perfectly. But at the same time, as a football lover, as an uncle who has enjoyed every second of watching him play, it seems like a tragedy to me. Because Messi, even now, even at 39 years old, is still capable of things that 99% of the footballers on the planet can't even dream of. He's still Messi. And that doesn't go from one day to the next. Now comes the big part. Because everything I've told you so far is the context. It's the foundation. What comes now is the reason why you clicked on this video. Ronaldinho found out about the news practically at the same time as the rest of the world. But his reaction was not that of any fan. It was not that of a former footballer who tweets a nice tweet and goes to dinner. No, Ronaldinho picked up the phone. He called Messi. And what he said on that call is what has transcended in the last few hours and what has put the hair on everyone's head who has heard it. But before I tell you, I need you to understand one more thing. I need you to understand who Ronaldinho is for Messi on a personal level. Because he's not just the uncle who got on his horse at Camp Nou. He's much more. Ronaldinho was the first elite footballer to believe in Messi unconditionally. When everyone said that Leo was too small, too fragile, too shy, Ronaldinho said he was the best he had ever seen. When doctors doubted whether his growth treatment would allow him to perform at the highest level, Ronaldinho told him he was going to win the Ballon d'Or, and he said it seriously. He said it looking him in the eye, with that huge smile that only Ronaldinho has. And Messi believed him, because how are you not going to believe the uncle who raced at 5 with a smile on his face? That connection, that brotherhood has never broken. The years have passed. The clubs, the continents. Ronaldinho has had his problems off the field. 70 million euros a year for Messi to stay at least one more season. Those are almost 6 million euros a month. Almost 200,000 euros for each game. An amount that would reflect what Messi generates in income for the club. That is infinitely greater. But there is more. Because Beckham is not only moving the money. He is moving the emotion. He has publicly said that Messi is the most beautiful player he has seen play in his entire life. That when he sees Messi on the field, he feels like a child again. That Messi's football enchants the whole world. And that this enchantment has no expiration date. And here I get wet. For me, what Beckham is doing is not just a business movement. It is an act of love for football. Because Beckham knows that when Messi retires, Inter Miami will lose a part of its soul. It will continue to be a good club, yes. But it will not be the same. It will not have that magic. It will not have that shine. It will not have the man who filled stadiums with just stepping on the grass. And Beckham wants to delay that moment. He wants the world to enjoy a little more. And it seems admirable to me. But now I ask you the question that has been burning inside me since I found out about all this. Will 70 million euros from Beckham be enough to convince Messi? Will Ronaldinho's emotional request be enough? Or does Messi already have the decision made and there is no money, no friendship, no plea to make him change his mind? Because look, Messi is not a footballer who moves for money. He has never been. When he agreed to go to Inter Miami, it was not for the money. It was for the project, for the quality of life, for the family, for the desire to live a different experience. And if now Messi feels that he no longer has fire inside, it does not matter if they put 100 million euros, 200 million euros, or 1,000 million euros on the table. If the fire is not there, Messi does not play. That simple? This is how brutally honest this man is. And that leads me to something that I want you to reflect with me. Is it selfish to ask Messi to continue? Is it selfish what Ronaldinho and Beckham do? Because on the one hand, I understand them. I understand them perfectly. Who does not want to continue seeing Messi? Who does not want a last dribble, a last pass from Spola, a last goal that makes a stadium explode? But on the other hand, has Messi not earned the right to decide when to leave? Has he not earned the right to retire in his own terms, with his head held high, with all the titles of the world in his showcase, without anyone telling him what he has to do? And here is the fucking thing. Because both things are true at the same time. Messi deserves to leave whenever he wants. And the world deserves to continue seeing him. And those two truths collide head-on, and there is no way to resolve the conflict. Now, let me tell you something that is not being talked about in the media and that seems fundamental to me. Because Ronaldinho and Beckham's reaction has not been the only one. In recent hours, since the news has exploded, There has been an avalanche of reactions from players, coaches, football legends, who are begging Messi to reconsider his decision. Neymar, who has shared a locker room with Messi and who considers him his soul brother, has posted a message saying that football without Messi is like heaven without stars. A phrase that you like more or less sums up what millions of people feel. Suarez, the other brother, the one who has cried with Messi more times than you can imagine, has said that he respects what Messi decides, but that it will cost him a lot to accept a world without Leo in a football field. Xavi, the genius of midfield, the one who scored hundreds of passes that ended in a goal, has said that Messi is the greatest gift that football has given humanity, and that humanity should not unfold that gift until Messi says so. And Pep Guardiola, the man who made Messi the best player in history, the one who designed an entire team around the Argentine, and created the best football that has ever been seen, has had a reaction that has given me goosebumps. He has said that he will not comment in public because what he feels is too big to explain it with words. And when Guardiola, who is an uncle who always has something to say, says that he is speechless, you know that the thing is serious. But none of those reactions, none, has the depth and emotion of Ronaldinho's request, because Ronaldinho has not spoken from a distance, has not released a statement, has not posted a nice tweet, has picked up the phone, has called his little brother, and has opened his heart. And there is a specific phrase from that conversation that has transcended, and that is the one that has left me sunk. Ronaldinho said to Messi, "I left football ahead of time, and not a single day goes by that I do not regret it. Do not let the same thing happen to you, Leo. You still can. I can't anymore. Do it for both of us. Do it for both of us." Have you heard anything more emotional in the world of football? Ronaldinho, the uncle who used to dribble with a smile, the one who used to do pucks for fun, the one who used to dance samba with a ball, asking Messi to keep playing for both of them. Because he can no longer step on a professional football field. Because his legs no longer respond to him. His messes. His dark moments. And Messi has never let go of his hand. Never. He has always been there. In private. Without cameras. Without headlines. And Ronaldinho knows it. That's why when Messi says he's leaving, Ronaldinho feels that he has not only the right, but the obligation to tell him what he thinks. And this is what he told him. 10. Ronaldinho asked Messi not to retire now. But he didn't ask for it with statistics arguments. Records. Millionaire contracts. He asked for it from the heart. He told him that what he had done in this World Cup in 2026 had left him absolutely fascinated. That he had seen him play, and that he had felt the same emotion that he felt when they played together. 20 years ago, in the Barca training sessions, that Messi at 39 was still causing him that feeling of seeing something unrepeatable. Something that cannot be explained with words or tactics. Something that is pure art. Ronaldinho told Messi that he is not only his friend, that he is also his fan, his #1 fan, that he does not miss a single game at the Inter de Miami, that he sits in front of the television every time Messi plays and shouts the goals like a 15-year-old kid. Can you imagine? Ronaldinho Gaucho, Ballon d'Or, world champion with Brazil, one of the most talented footballers in history, sitting at home, shouting Messi's goals like any other fan. That, guys, is the definition of real admiration, real respect, real love for football. And look at what's coming now, because this is the part that has destroyed me. Ronaldinho told Messi that he regrets having retired when he did, that he feels he could have given more, that football left his hands too soon for things that happened off the field, and that he knows he made mistakes, and that he does not want Messi to make the same mistake. Because Messi, unlike him, is still in condition. He still has the legs. He still has the head. He still has that magic that does not train. That comes from the factory. That is born with you and dies with you. Ronaldinho told him, "You are still the best player in the world." Those words, the best player in the world. 39 years old. And Ronaldinho does not say it out of commitment or friendship. He says it because he really believes it. Because he has seen it. Because he has seen Messi in this World Cup do things that no other footballer on the planet can do right now. And here comes the bomb that had kept you. Ronaldinho not only asked him to keep playing, he asked him to think about the World Cup of 2030. Did you hear that right? The World Cup of 2030. In Spain. In Portugal. In Morocco. Messi would be 42 years old. It sounds crazy, right? It sounds delirious. But Ronaldinho raised it with total seriousness. He said, "If someone can do it, it's you. If someone can play a World Cup at 42 years old and make a difference, it's you, Leo. No one else in the history of football. Only you. And I ask you, is it crazy? Is it really crazy? Because if you tell me about any other footballer, I tell you that yes, that it is a barbarity, that at 42 years old you cannot compete at the highest level. But we are talking about Messi, the uncle who at 35 years old won a World Cup being the best player in the tournament. The uncle who at 39 has returned to doing magic in another World Cup. Do we really put a limit on this man? Really? And now I tell you what I think. As a football fan, as an uncle who has been watching Messi since he was 17 years old, Ronaldinho is right. Period. I don't care what the analysts say, the physiotherapists, those who look at the statistics with a magnifying glass. Ronaldinho is right because Ronaldinho understands something that the data does not capture. He understands that Messi is not a normal footballer, that the normal rules do not apply, that when you have that talent, that intelligence, that ability to read the game, age is a number, a damn number. But of course, the decision is Messi's, and Messi seems to have taken it, or at least that says. And this is where the second protagonist of this story comes in. Because not only Ronaldinho has reacted, there is another person who has a huge interest in Messi to keep playing. And that person is David Beckham. Beckham, for those of you who do not know, is not just an eccentric ex-footballer with a good plan. He is the owner of Inter Miami, the man who brought Messi to the MLS, the man who made possible what seemed impossible. That Leo Messi played football in the United States. And what Messi has meant for Inter Miami cannot be measured in words. It is measured in exhausted tickets, in shirts sold for millions, in television rights that have multiplied, in sponsorships that have rained from all over the world. Messi has transformed the Inter of Miami from an ambitious project to a global phenomenon. And Beckham knows it better than anyone. So when Beckham found out that Messi wants to retire, what do you think happened? Do you think he was left with his arms crossed? Of course not. Beckham has come out with a statement that is a mixture of plea, admiration, and strategy. And I'm going to break it down for you. But first, I want you to understand something. When Beckham talks about Messi, he does not speak like a businessman who loses his most valuable asset. He speaks like an uncle who knows what elite football is, who has played alongside Zidane and Roberto Carlos, who has worn the United shirt, from Madrid, from Milan, from PSG, from the Galaxy, and who recognizes in Messi something that goes beyond sports. Beckham has said that Messi cannot stop now. Literally, that the world of football still wants and needs to enjoy his talent. That what Messi does with a ball at his feet is a gift for humanity. And that retiring now would deprive the planet of that gift ahead of time. And look, these are not empty words. Beckham has added something that few people expected. He has said that he is going to do everything in his power to convince Messi to keep playing. Everything. That he is going to talk to him. That he is going to sit down with his family. That he is going to present him with a project that gives him back the excitement. And here is the detail that I had promised you. According to sources close to the Inter Miami board, Beckham would be preparing an absolutely brutal renovation offer for Messi. We are talking about figures that could reach 70 million euros a year between salary and image rights. 70 million euros. I repeat it to you because I want you to assimilate it. Because his time has passed. And he does not want Messi to waste his time. Uncles, that is friendship. That is brotherhood. That is football in its purest state. And if that does not excite you, I do not know what can excite you. And it is that the story of Ronaldinho and Messi is a football story that transcends titles, goals, and golden balls. It is the story of two geniuses who met at the right time. Ronaldinho was at the top of the world when Messi appeared. And instead of competing, he decided to teach. He decided to protect. He decided to pass the torch with a generosity that is rarely seen in elite sport. And Messi took everything, absolutely everything. and he took it to a level that not even Ronaldinho himself imagined. And now, 20 years later, the circle seems to close. The student announces that he is leaving, and the teacher, from the other side of the phone, begs him not to leave yet. Let's go back to Beckham, because there is something else I need to tell you. Beckham has not only made a public statement. According to sources from the Miami Inter-environment, Beckham has a much more ambitious plan than a simple renovation. He would be designing a special role for Messi within the club. A role that would combine playing a small number of games, the most important of the season, with a role of global ambassador and mentor of the quarry. A contract that could be extended for 3 years. And that would guarantee Messi a total income of €200 million between salary, image, and shareholding participation. €200 million. A figure that would make Messi not only the best paid player in the history of the MLS, but also one of the club's co-owners. A movement that would make Messi a permanent member of the Miami Inter, even when he stopped playing. Beckham, according to these sources, believes that if he offers Messi the possibility of playing less, of managing his efforts, of not having to submit to the wear and tear of a full season, the Argentine could change his mind.